When the world falls still and the velvet hush of night settles in, some stories begin to breathe. This is Velvet Nightshade Tales, where shadows hold memories and whispers carry secrets. Listen carefully. Not all stories wish to be told, but tonight, this one will be. Part 2, She Helps Us See, Episode 2. The Ones Who See. The next morning, John woke up hoping it had been a dream. Basements didn't hide breathing walls. Teachers didn't keep secrets older than the building. And missing classmates didn't whisper in unison. He told himself that before his feet even hit the floor. But when he arrived at school, Daniel was already at his desk, smiling too calmly. "Hey," John said carefully. "You okay?" Daniel blinked once. Slowly. "I'm better than okay." His voice sounded layered, like someone speaking just behind him. John swallowed. "You remember yesterday?" he asked. Daniel tilted his head. "Yesterday? You know, after school." Daniel's smile widened slightly. "We didn't stay after school." The bell rang, and every student in the room turned to face forward at the exact same time. By lunchtime, John had tested 3 others. Same answer. No one remembered disappearing. No one remembered the basement, but something was different, subtle things. No one blinked much anymore. They didn't fidget. They didn't complain about homework. In fact, they finished assignments before Mrs. Jenkins finished explaining them, and sometimes they answered questions before she asked them. "Because," Maya said softly once, interrupting mid-sentence, "we already know." Mrs. Jenkins didn't correct her. She smiled. The drawing started that afternoon. It began with Ethan. He filled the margins of his notebook with a symbol, a circle, with a vertical line splitting it down the center. Over and over, perfectly symmetrical. John felt his chest tighten because he recognized it. Not from the basement, from somewhere over, somewhere buried in memory. By the end of the week, half the class was drawing it. Mrs. Jenkins never mentioned it. She simply walked between desks observing, like she was taking attendance. The breathing started during math. John heard it first. A slow inhale, then exhale, faint, behind the walls. He looked around. No one reacted. Another inhale. The drywall near the window had a thin crack running down its side. As he stared, the crack widened slightly, then sealed shut, like skin. He pushed back from his desk. The chair scraped loudly. The entire class turned to look at him. At the same time, 30 eyes, unblinking. "She's resisting," someone whispered. It wasn't clear who, because it sounded like all of them. Mrs. Jenkins stepped forward gently. "Is something wrong, John?" He couldn't speak, because the wall behind her moved, just slightly, like something enormous shifting behind it. That night he decided to go back, not because he wanted to, but because he needed proof. He waited until the parking lot emptied, until the sky turned violet, until the building looked hollow. The side door was unlocked. It always was. He slipped inside. The hallways felt longer, quieter. He turned on his phone camera. "If I'm crazy," he whispered to himself, "this won't show anything." He pulled the bookshelf in Mrs. Jenkins' classroom. The staircase revealed itself again. Cold air rolled upward. He descended. The room below was darker this time. The walls weren't just breathing. They were pulsing. The children stood in the center again, not in rows, in a circle, around something. John lifted his phone. The screen glitched, static, black lines, but through the distortion, he saw it. Not clearly, never clearly, but enough. Something tall, not solid, not shadow, something shaped like a thought, hovering just above the floor, and the children were facing it. Heads tilted upward. "She helps us see," they whispered softly. Mrs. Jenkins stepped into view beside them. "You shouldn't record what you don't understand," she said calmly. John spun around. She was at the bottom of the stairs, but she hadn't walked down. She was just there. You think I'm hurting them, she continued. I'm not. The shape in the center shifted. The air bent around it. They are becoming aware. Daniel slowly turned his head toward John. His eyes weren't empty. They were deeper, like staring into a tunnel. You feel it too, Daniel said quietly. John felt something brush against his mind. Not painful, just heavy, ancient, curious. You're different, Mrs. Jenkins said softly. You see it without guidance. The shape pulsed. The walls inhaled. You've always seen it, haven't you? Images flashed in his head. Cracks in his childhood bedroom ceiling, shadows under his bed that felt alive. Drawings in old notebooks, the same symbol, over and over. His stomach dropped. I didn't draw that, he whispered. Mrs. Jenkins tilted her head. You did. The children stepped closer together. The shape in the center leaned slightly toward John, and for the first time, it felt interested. Not in the class, not in the room, in him. John stumbled backward, up the stairs. The air grew warmer with each step. Mrs. Jenkins didn't chase him. She never chased. You can't stay half aware forever, she called gently. You'll have to choose. He slammed the bookshelf shut. The classroom was silent. Still, normal. Except the symbol was carved faintly into the wood of his desk. Perfectly symmetrical. Fresh. The next morning, the principal made an announcement. We'd like to welcome 3 new transfer students. The class applauded politely. 3 empty desks had appeared in the back of the room. John turned slowly. The seats weren't empty. They were just faded. Like something was sitting there, but not fully visible. Mrs. Jenkins met his eyes. You'll understand soon, she said. And this time, half the class didn't whisper. They simply smiled. Some believed it lived beneath the school, in the dark, in the concrete, in the hollow space under the stairs. But basements don't create things like that. They only contain them. For a while, it wasn't waiting for the door to open. It was waiting for someone to understand. And now, it has. Part 3 reveals what was never meant to be seen. Until then, look at the walls. Listen to the silence. If it feels closer, that's because it is. Welcome to Velvet Nightshade Tales. Good night.